It's a well-known saying that it's not the clothes that make the man, but clothes reflect the personality of the individual who wears them. People of the same age also dress differently for different occasions in company, at work, in nightclubs. Our choice of clothing is first and foremost a matter of our own tastes, but it is also influenced by the fashion trends of the times, our gender identity, the changing seasons and, last but not least, our financial situation. The 20th century was not just a century of industrial explosion, the information revolution, rewritten maps and wars. It was an era that gave fashion an everyday content. The confection does not follow individual characteristics, it is based on an average, which does not exist in practice. When shopping for clothes, we like to try on the garment we have chosen because we are curious to see how well it fits us. When shopping online, this is not always possible, so we order it and return it if it is not good. If we have a virtual avatar that represents our abstract physical attributes in the digital worlds, everything becomes simpler. We can see the result on ourselves without the garment being made and even order it. For several decades, technological tools have existed to make a digital copy of a person using their most important dimensions. However, these technological components were so expensive that a small-scale manufacturer could not afford to introduce them. Recent years have seen breakthroughs in this area. Tools have been developed that have made digital garment-making tools available to small-scale tailors. One of the technical components that allows the geometric capture of the client's body shape is the so-called body scan technology. However, this has a major drawback in that the equipment required is very expensive. There is another method that can use data from the traditional measurement method of custom tailoring to model the client's individual body shape characteristics. Traditional scaling avatars, a three-dimensional proxy geometric model of the client, are as accurate a representation of the client's body as body scanners. They do, however, have one advantage over body scanners: any changes in the client's size can be easily corrected with the updated data. Software that uses this technology can create the garment from the selected fabric and style, try it on and generate the pattern. Let's see how. The main question is, how do we translate a person's measurements into a pattern for a garment? There are very sophisticated traditional methods for this task. This data can be used to create an avatar representing the physical characteristics of the client. Why is it useful to create a geometric model of the customer? Because you don't need to measure the customer over and over again, but just once, and every time you reorder, the new garment can be made to your avatar. The avatar represents in the virtual world the characteristics of the customer that are essential for the creation of a garment. The pattern is independent of the customer's measurements. The most important task of the software is to fit the size-independent dress to an avatar representing client's measurements. This also means that the client can view the final result without an inch of canvas or thread being used. Any modifications can even be made without material consequences. The biggest advantage of digital technology is that the suit is fitted to the client's avatar under the control of the master tailor. Tailoring simulation software allows designers to produce models virtually. In this way, the garment fits without the client having to make multiple trial visits. When choosing the material, many considerations must be taken into account. It must be appropriate for the occasion, it must be easy to maintain, it must be durable, it must look good. The next stage in the virtual development of the clothing is to try on the garment using the client's preferred fabrics. A dress is usually made up by a tailor from pieces of textile cut according to a pattern. This activity requires great skill. Today's tailoring software is an expert system that implements centuries of tailoring experience within a software framework. Digital technology complements traditional tailoring, but is not a substitute for expertise. It is highly reliable and helps to achieve the perfect end result. The program corrects the pattern according to the customer's body shape differences. The elements of the pattern are virtually assembled. The virtually sewn garment is tried on the customer's avatar. If the modified pattern is used to make a new garment, it is guaranteed to fit the customer. Nowadays, several different digitally operated textile cutting machines can be integrated into the tailoring programs. However, most of these are quite expensive, not always affordable and not always able to be purchased and operated by the professional tailor. An alternative solution is the projection method, where the pattern is projected onto a table using a one-to-one face projection, along which the pattern can be cut out of the table using relatively simple tools. Obviously, there are costs associated with the introduction of new technology. These costs should be recovered and should generate significant added value. This is only possible if the costs and benefits fit the scale of the business. Modern technology helps or complements craft skills. It contributes greatly to producing higher quality and more accurate work. It is generally accepted, but completely wrong, to assume that only large firms with capital can apply significant technological innovations to their production process. The development and widespread adoption of digital technologies in recent decades has not only made them available to all, but has also dramatically reduced their cost. It also means that small businesses can access the latest technological advances. With the introduction of the new technology, the flexible character and precision of custom-made made-to-measure garments has not changed. It supports digital customer records very well and makes it easy to reuse the customer data already measured. It also makes it easy to keep track of subsequent body shape changes. In this form, bespoke tailoring can be integrated into e-commerce. This removes the limitations of local service. It is possible for the tailor to deliver clothes anywhere in the world. It also saves customers considerable time by not having to go through the usual procedures again and again for repeat orders. If the customer already has an avatar, an email is sufficient to place the order.